Snog, marry, avoid. Gary Oldman, Kristen Scott Thomas, Ben Mendelsohn. Snog, marry, avoid. Quickly, go. I know, it's a tough question.
Marry Gary... Oh, no, hang on. Oh, and it's quick, isn't it?
Lily, amazing to sit here with you.
Aww.
Your role was so empowering. The one woman allowed in the map room.
Yes, exactly.
How did it feel to play such an empowering role?
It was really, really, really brilliant, and I found it so inspiring. The real lady, Elizabeth Layton, who worked for Churchill through the whole war, is such an empowered, brilliant woman, and she was so dedicated and committed to Churchill. And, to be right there alongside this man as he created history was, must have been just kind of unbelievable, really. So it was amazing to play that role, and like you said, to be the only woman allowed in the map room.
That must have been like a really good
yeah it was great.
And how was it learning how to use a typewriter, because that's a skill?
It's a real skill. I'm glad you noticed. I actually did 6 weeks of lessons, and I had this wonderful lady come around and she was very sort of diligent, and I actually have asked for a typewriter for Christmas.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Because the thing is, like, you weren't just typing, you were typing away in this movie, like real, like going at it.
Yeah, they're hard. They're hard. The keys are really. There's a lot of pressure, so you have to really, like, my fingers got really muscly, and I became really obsessive. I sort of thought, if I can get the typing right, it will be fine. All my anxiety went into the typing.
And it certainly added to the character as well.
Oh, good.
And especially because your role is so empowering, and obviously with the current climate in Hollywood at the moment, real shame, especially Kevin Spacey was one of your co-stars in Baby Driver as well. Do you think this signals a start for more empowering roles for women in Hollywood?
I hope so. It's about, it should be, and it it's about time, and thanks to what has happened, the awful things that have happened, we will now, hopefully there will be change, and we're at a point where we have to sort of address the imbalance of power, and I think, movies are a way of portraying a positive message out to the world, and if there are sort of strong, powerful, brilliant, complex, real women in cinema or making the movies, directing them, then, that's sending out the right message to the world. So, yes, we need more of it.
And you haven't had any harassment or anything yourself, have you? Because if it had,
You'd
I would be
You'd take them down.
I would take them down.
Well, I'm glad that I'll have you as my personal bodyguard from now on. I will certainly call you if anything happens.
Please do. I will run.
Oh, bless you. I love you.
I love you too, Lily. Speaking of the movie as well, Gary Oldman, I mean, he's amazing. Golden Globe nominated now. Was it weird working with him, because he had... When we say a lot of prosthetic makeup, he didn't really look like Gary Oldman at all.
No, it was, he spent months and months of planning and trying out different ways, and, he sort of, we did a month of rehearsals, and halfway through he disappeared in Walk Churchill. There's a photo that captures my kind of reaction to seeing him for the first time, and I've literally, pulling the most mad expression, because it was so shocking and it was uncanny. It was... and continued to be throughout the whole shot, just so impressive and remarkable.
And the fact that you have been working on a potentially, now critics are saying maybe Oscar-nominated film, potentially. I mean, how does that feel? That must feel good. And especially SAG-nominated, Golden Globe-nominated, that must feel good.
It's a mad thing, the awards, but it does. You know what feels even better? Just having worked with Gary Oldman and Kristen Scott Thomas and Ben Mendelsohn and Stephen Delaney. The list is endless.
All-star
Directed by Joe Wright. Regardless of what happens now, I had that experience, and I'll always have had that experience, and I think I've grown and learned from it, and and I had such an amazing time acting, and that's what I love to do. So that's the real prize, as corny as that sounds.
Right. Boring film questions out of the way. Let's go to the obligatory junket quickfire.
Okay.
Guy today, would you rather date a guy in the Royal Navy, the RAF, or the Army?
RAF. My granddad was in the RAF. He was a minister in the RAF, 100%.
Okay.
He has all his old RAF type. Well, we have them now, and he was...
Wartime or present-day fashion, and why?
Oh, I had present day fashion, probably. There's sort of less restriction and more kind of, you're allowed to dress however you want, whenever you want, and that's sort of boldness is something they didn't have then. I had great outfits as Elizabeth Layton, I felt, and I enjoyed that time, how the women dressed, you know, and I'm sat here in slippers and sort of all messy.
Going comfy, why not?
And they had, you know, their skirts that were tailored and in at the waist and lovely suits, and there was a sort of quite sort of strong look.
And finally, Snog, Marry, Avoid, Gary Oldman, Kristen Scott Thomas, Ben Mendelsohn. Snog, Marry, Avoid, quickly, go. I know, it's a tough question.
Marry Gary. Oh no, hang on. Oh, and it's quick, isn't it? I'd marry Kristen. Oh, I can't.
Oh, you have to. It's your co-stars.
Can I marry and snog all of them?
Okay, all right. But you wouldn't avoid any of them, though.
No.
Perfect.
I'd avoid Gary as Churchill.
I think we all would after watching this movie. But Lily, so lovely to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely
wonderful.
to meet you too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my God, I was called wonderful.